We have no time to talk. We must only monologue. You must only listen to the events of the evening. Listeners, breaking news. There's a live protest outside of City Hall of Westcott Hills. Residents who think that their town should host the Great Parade this year. We had previously announced that the Great Parade was being held in Brenham, and apparently Westcott Hills thought that this was unfair to them. The protesters are holding signs that says, "Ask them about the Gophers, they'll only cry in the corner," and "Cronies, more like bronies, please high-five me if you get this joke." More on this protest as it develops. But first, let's go to the farm report, as written by Robert Sarge. It's raining like a bullfrog in a July rodeo who's just seen the missus with a crowd of other bullfrogs down here, Carson. This is the rain we were waiting for. If this continues, though, then we'll have a flooded field. So remember to harvest our crops before the next season, farmers of Brenham. That's it. This was the Farm Report, as written by Robert Sarge. Thanks again, Robert. An update now on the protest in front of City Hall. Brenham has responded. This response was from Mayor Orson, who said at the podium to a crowded room, "We are continuing to prepare for the Great Parade, and nothing, not even protests about how we were chosen unfairly, can change that. Down, boy!" This last part was due to Buster, the photo-op dog, jumping up and trying to lick the cue cards the mayor was reading off of. Police Chief McDougal, who was also by the mayor's side, was asked by reporters how they were going to handle the protesters. "We're going to handle them with care. We're going to politely ask them to leave City Hall grounds. That should take care of the problem." More on this protest later. We have had several complaints here at the station that I have not done my job of passing on the knowledge of the radio business well enough. That's why, for the first time ever, we're opening up for student assistants down here at the station. We feel like we should share our knowledge, not hide it away in our station's hallways and restrooms and break rooms and such. Ryan Dimes has asked me to also read this statement on air. "We are not looking for silly people who just want attention. We are looking for people who can talk and talk well. Remember that, and you may be our first student assistant." The Henner Public Library has announced today that they will not stand this anymore. A library spokesman said in a statement today, "Sorry, but you're on your own, bub." This decision came when the librarians at the Henner Public Library realized that all librarians in media are monsters or top-secret agents, or have some other life that nobody knows about, or are abducted by aliens. Also, another factor in this decision was that nobody actually reads books anymore. The Henner Public Library would also like to remind you to send in your overdue books, or else they will have to sell the books they have to make ends meet, and that's just a slippery slope going into a downward spiral. This has been an update on the Henner Public Library. Oh, more bad news. It seems like the polite and simple way of getting the protesters off City Hall grounds, which is just politely asking people to go away, is not working. Police Chief McDougal has announced that they are switching tactics and are now going to ask them rudely and possibly throw rude words like jerks and non-fashionable around. They are warning people going near City Hall to please cover your eyes and ears. They aren't talking about you, okay? Okay? Okay. More on this protest after the break, but first, let's go to Music Spotlight. Well, it seems like they are gone. Let's get into what exactly happened. The protesters from Westcott Hills left in a huff when all of their cell phone batteries died, due to the grounds of City Hall not having outlets, considering the building was built in at least the 1960s. Nobody knows exactly when City Hall was built because no one kept records back then. The protesters said before they left that they would make it known to the council that Westcott Hills is the better choice. The police said rudely, keeping it in line with their new policy to deal with these protesters, "Oh yeah? Well, your face is not fashionable." I'm sorry for saying that on the air. That's just a direct quote. I'm sure your face is quite fashionable. Anyways, the protester said, "You'll see," which made the police quite uneasy as they shifted their weight, looking uncomfortable. I guess more on this story as it develops. And Ryan Dimes is motioning to tell me about the new student assistant profiles we've been sent in. That's good news, right, Brenham? Right? Right. Okay, so while we have this meeting about which student assistant we will pick, I'll end this broadcast here. Stay safe out there, Brenham, and good night, and goodbye, and everything else those statements imply. Mainly, thanks for listening to the events of the evening.